Executive with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Shriram Bhat, who is the Director of Marketing Analytics at Shutterfly. Hi, Shriram.
Hello, Jessica.
How are you?
Good, very well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you because I've been a fan of Shutterfly. I've been a user for 14 years. And so it's a great product.
Definitely.
And the company has gone through a lot of changes. You've seen the changes in the industry and the consumer behavior too. So I thought it'd be great to have a conversation about marketing.
Yeah, I'll be happy to chat. I've been at Shutterfly for the last 5 years, and I've seen the company has gone through a lot of changes, and so has the behavior of the consumers. It's an interesting time. We live in a world where technology is changing so fast, and we have to keep up with the technology changes and the consumer behavior changes along with that, and then try to be relevant to our customers.
Right. So Shutterfly is the #1 player in the digital photos.
That is correct. Yes.
And you sell a lot of products, and I buy a lot of the products, great products. So the company is now actually going through an acquisition of becoming private.
That's correct.
You've got a new CMO, a new CEO. So what is happening? What are the changes?
The CMO joined us last year, last November, coming from Adobe, and then after that we had our new CEO coming in this year, and along with that we had the private acquisition from Apollo happening. They are the biggest private equity firm, and earlier last year we had the LifeTouch integration, which was a huge deal, and we are really excited about the prospect of the two companies' synergy and what can happen and the growth potential with that.
LifeTouch is in the photography business for the schools.
Yes, schools, church, and they are into that. So coming back to LifeTouch, there are a lot of synergies between LifeTouch and Shutterfly. Couple of things are how we can use the consumers, think about consumers' needs and serve them up with Shutterfly products. And because they are taking photos, how can we transform that into something which goes into their wall art, maybe photo mugs, photo albums, just help them share life's joy.
That makes sense, because from the school's photos that my kids bring home, it would be nice to be able to take that and create pillows or wall art, puzzles, cups, all kinds of products. But right now that's not an offer. Right now I don't see that from the packages I receive from school, but I see the benefit to that.
Yeah.
Now you do analytics. So you actually have a lot of data, and you try to produce the insights to generate better conversions ultimately. Yes.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Some of the projects you're doing.
Yeah. So I lead the marketing analytics team at Shutterfly, and we partner closely with the marketing channel owners, help them drive business, think about making better decisions, help them shape their objectives, come up with holistic measurement plan. Generally looking at all diverse data, we have the disparate data sources, pulling all that together, coming up with intelligent insights. And it could be just as simple as giving them regular reporting. It could be designing an A/B test. It could be building predictive modeling for advanced targeting, thinking about customer segmentation. And then finally, thinking about scaling the analytical solution we provide. How can we think about long-term scalable solution? So that's the essence of what I do.
Can you share a particular program or execution you've done and some of the lessons learned?
So I've been part of a core team which is focusing on being very relevant to the customers. And we are focusing on key strategic areas, including how do we show relevant content in our emails to our customers? Can we think about showing them content where the customers are interested in buying that specific product, how do we integrate that intelligence, which we gather from our data, build probably a predictive model around it, and then showcase that in our email.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't really done that in the past. And this was a huge effort which we thought we should really invest in late last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a truly cross-functional effort coming in from creative, operations, and then analytics, and then bringing all that together as a cross-functional team was very challenging and interesting and very, I would say, rewarding project. And came down to kind of relooking at how we do our email marketing today, thinking about if you want to show relevant products, is the creative which we designed, is it really helping showcase the relevant products? Should we think about redesigning our creative? And then once we do that, how do we operationalize the predictive model which is built by our data scientists?
Mm-hmm.
Then how do we pass that on to our operations team to deploy? And this was a 3-month project initially. And then we also had to think about what's the right test design to measure. And once we measure, what are the different learnings we should expect to gather? And then how do we move ahead with those learnings? And once we move ahead, how do we think about the larger rollout plan? And we did see from our 6 months program, we did see a lot of positive results in email engagement,
mm-hmm.
And also revenue. And we are now thinking about how do we think about rolling this out for the next 2 or 3 years from email relevant content standpoint.
Okay. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing a trend is actually the in product. While you're in the app and you're doing stuff, that there's content, relevant content to suggest something or guide you to something. Are you testing out that part of the technology?
I'm not directly involved in that part, but I do know that there are several algorithms which are being tested to show relevant products, and also thinking about taking the photos from our customers and applying that to the product and showcasing that in your app as you log in,
mm-hmm.
And algorithmically. And that is also has shown us positive results for us in terms of engagement and revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of testing on the app,
mm-hmm.
on what bodes well with a customer, where do they land on in our app or on our website,
mm-hmm.
can we optimize that experience when they come in? And
what are you seeing as behaviors of the consumer behaviors? I mean, we know for a fact that more and more we spend time on the phone, and more we are ordering online through the phone. What other interesting insights are you seeing?
Yeah, so customers are well connected to technology today. They want a seamless experience, mm-hmm. across devices. If they would want to start a project on their app, then complete it on a website or their desktop.
Mm.
And they expect the technology to support them without any issues. And then also they expect relevant content to be shown to them. They expect the businesses to understand their needs and where they are at, and also give them some sort of a personalized experience in terms of probably a promotion or in terms of the content they see. And essentially, business needs to understand where the customer is at in their life cycle. Is it right now we're thinking about brand loyalty is what we need to create? Is it just the awareness? Or how do we drive engagement? You spoke about how do you build a sense of community for
mm-hmm.
Shutterfly early on. That is something we're also focusing on. So there is this need to understand customers, and the customers expect that from the business to understand them and give them relevant content and promotions, I would say.
What are some of the challenges that you face now as you're trying to grow? And I know there's like acquisition. Shutterfly has bought several businesses over the years. And I think it's very interesting that Apollo owns you now, because Apollo also owns Snapfish,
That is
a
correct.
competing service provider. So what are your expectations?
Yeah, the plan is still not charted out completely, and it's still in works, but we expect a lot of overlap in our consumers and the behavior, because the needs the Snapfish is serving versus Shutterfly is serving, also life touch.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, everything that has to related to photos and photo products. So we are excited about the future and how things might pan out. And at the same time, as to your point, yes, we did get acquired by Apollo. It gives us room to think about a larger picture,
Mm-hmm.
and also long-term plans for long-term vision. So yeah, it is exciting time, and we are thinking about making big investments in technology, analytics, data science, and just putting in real effort to understand our consumers better.
And is it globally? Are you strong in other markets, or is it just U.S.?
It is primarily US.
I see. So maybe that's where the growth opportunities are, is in international markets.
Or maybe potentially. We do serve Canada, but yes, it's primarily US.
Shriram, so one of the hot topic has to do with AI, machine learning. And given that you have a lot of data, what are you doing using machine learning?
Yeah, so machine learning today, we look at a lot of different data sources, disparate data sources, internal and external data sources too. And with the enablement of cloud technology, we can really deploy a machine learning solution on the cloud with very good computational capability, and also really scale the solution we have today. And the trend in machine learning today is make the machine self-sufficient in its ability to learn. And it can be deep neural networks, it can be reinforced learning, and essentially think about the future as where machine can really take over, let's say, today's marketing function. It knows when to target the customer, what's the right frequency, what's the right content, and and there is an automatic feedback loop. And based on what it sees in terms of the performance, it knows whether it needs to tweak, optimize, all on its own, completely in an automated fashion.
Wow.
And that is it's an exciting time for us to be in, given this is which can happen very quickly, and it's a real possibility in the near future.
Okay, so maybe it can suggest certain incentives for me because it knows how I react.
Exactly.
And it modifies the incentives.
Exactly. It modifies the incentives, and then also thinks about infusing its own algorithm with innovation, per se, introducing new offers, and then see how you would respond to that and learn from that. So I think all of this capability can be built into the algorithm if you really plan for it.
Okay, well, that's very exciting. Thank you for being on the show to share all that with us.
Sure. Thank you, Jessica.
There you have it, folks. Shriram Bhat from Shutterfly.